What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Dark, and we're about to start off with a Season 10 Apex tier list. Now that the season's a few weeks old, I think I have a good grasp on how the legends are shaking up. So let's get it started. So starting off with our girl Bang, pretty easy, not much to her. I'm gonna put her at B tier. You know, we like to say that Bang is one of the most balanced legends in the history of Apex, but I do think this season is her weakest yet. With the increase in characters that can basically wall hack you, I think she's a little weaker. Her smokes are a little less strong. In some cases, her smokes are a hindrance to the team. Next up, Bloodhound, still S tier. Gives you wall hacks. Brain dead. Super easy to use. You know, can change every fight. Probably still a crutch character. Fighting with a scan character like Bloodhound and not fighting with a character like Bloodhound, you can really tell how different it makes the game. With the Seer nerf, Bloodhound's back to being probably the premier pick when it comes to recon. Still super strong. Next up, Caustic. Moving up to A tier. Caustic's better this season. The buffs have done him a lot of justice. He's back to being an annoying little bastard, but I do like playing him now. His gas is something that you actually have to worry about now. Before you could just, you know, stand 10 toes down in his gas and not really worry about it too much. But now, if you stand 10 toes down, you're gonna be 6 feet deep. So Caustic, A tier. Next up, Crypto. I'm gonna put Crypto. Oh man, I'm gonna put Crypto C. Crypto is a good legend. He's just super hard to use. You have to be in your drone to use a lot of his useful stuff. There's a high skill ceiling to Crypto, and I think on a good Crypto, I'll move him to A. But for most people, he's a C. A character that you really have to like learn to this extent is probably not the best of legends. And then there's better recons at the end of the day. So that's why Crypto's a C, could use a buff. Next up, Fusey Boy. Top of C, B. I'm gonna put Fuse at B. The buffs have made him a lot more useful. His knuckle clusters last twice as long. They're great for zoning people out. The mother load is still, it's whatever, but now you scan characters basically. If they're in it, you get wall hacks. Wall hacks are always good. Still okay. He's just not too useful to the team. Next up, Jibby, S tier. He's been S tier for a while. Nothing's really changed. I'm not gonna get into Jibby too much. Jibby is fantastic. Busted even. The arm shield makes him a tank. Fortified makes him a tank. His bubble's fantastic for rotations. His bubble's fantastic for reses. Jibby just has the most utility in the game probably. Next up, Horizon. I'm gonna put Horizon at A tier. I think she's good. The buffs brought her back to a respectable state. You know, her Q is not oppressive like it used to be. You can't do whatever in the air anymore, but it still provides a lot of utility to yourself and to the team. Lifeline. Res. Lifeline. I'm gonna put B tier. Top of B tier. She could be A. I don't think there's much to her. Her res is good. Res to people. Ultimate's okay. Her hitbox is good. I don't find Lifeline too interesting. I'd put her at B tier. Loba. I'm also put B tier. Her bracelet got buffed. Bracelet's good. Good mobility character. Ultimate makes it so that you can never be unlooted. You're always kitted, which is great. Endgame is actually pretty underrated. You pop on endgame, you know, you get all the heals that you're probably gonna need. Maybe you need a heat shield. You grab a heat shield. Maybe you need ammo. Get ammo. Late game, Loba's pretty good. Underrated. My only issue with Loba, and this is a me issue that I hate, is that I'm one that thinks that if you want to get better at the game, you have to learn to like not spend so much of your time looting. I think Loba, you know, enables bad behavior. It enables people to loot the whole game instead of rotating, instead of fighting. So that's my only issue with Loba. Another plus to Loba is that she's thick as fuck. Gives a morale boost like no other character. Mirage. D tier. I hate this character. I think this is my least favorite character in the game, or one of them. I probably have the least amount of time played on Mirage. I just don't think that Mirage has a lot of utility outside of resing, I guess, when invisible. But you could hear it. Resing is loud as fuck. You really gotta be kind of a vegetable to not know where that Mirage is. A good Mirage though is a good combat hero, so maybe on a good Mirage, B, maybe a C. I don't know. Mirage, I'm gonna leave him at D. I don't like him. I know you're thinking it's crazy. Like you have Fuse C, B. Yeah, let's maybe Fuse is C. Maybe Fuse is still D. I don't like Mirage. At least Fuse is like fun toxic. Next up, Octane. I'm gonna put Octane S tier still. Octane still provides a shit ton of rotation. Maybe the best rotation in the game. Octane lets you get to a fight quickly. Octane lets you rotate quickly. Octane lets you rotate constantly. Fantastic. We know rotations is a big part of the game. Pathfinder. I'm gonna put Pathfinder. I have a soft spot for characters that can provide rotation. Pathfinder has a high skill cap. Maybe the highest skill cap in the game. His grapple is fantastic. Rotation characters are just gonna get naturally pushed towards A in my opinion. Rampart is D. Rampart is just too defensive. If you see a Rampart, you're gonna push that Rampart. Rampart's just not that good. Revenant, C tier. Revenant's awful. Revenants are honestly a negative on the game. Not gonna really delve too much more into Revenant. Seer. Seer's tough. A tier, B tier. Before the nerfs, Seer was S tier. Maybe the best character in the game. Seer's still pretty good, pretty strong. If you're good with Seer. Now, if you're bad with Seer, Seer's like B. So I'm gonna put Seer probably bottom of A tier because I'm just looking at it that at its peak Seer play, Seer's still probably useful, probably just not as useful as Bloodhound anymore. So that's why I'm gonna put Seer bottom A, top B-ish. Valkyrie, bottom A tier, top B tier. Solid rotations, probably in my opinion third to Octane and Wraith, but it's a distant third. Provides awesome verticality. Her Q's underrated. She's a good character. I'm actually for a little higher. I think she's good. Wraith, I'm also put S tier. I think there's an argument for Wraith being better than Octane right now. While Octane provides better rotations, quicker rotations, you can get to a fight quicker, you can third easier. Recently in season 10, I've been preferring a Wraith just because Wraith lets you get in a fight and lets the team get out of it too. Wraith also provides safe rotations. It's not as flexible or versatile as Octane's pad, but at least when rotating with the port, you know that you're not at risk of getting beamed, of taking damage, which is a plus on Wraith. Wraith's Q, even though it's weaker than before, still a get out of jail free card. I know players they're trying to get Wraith buffed. I would like to see Wraith get a little buff, but she's S tier. She's already one of the best characters in the game. If you revert the Q back to its old state, she's instantly the best character in the game. If you buff her portal back to what it used to be, she's probably instantly the best character in the game. You give her back her ninja run, she's probably the best character in the game. So I don't know how to buff Wraith without just making her the overwhelming best character in the game, but it does feel like she should get one, just like a quality of life buff, because all of her nerfs just made her a bit clunkier. Which, there's one thing to make a character less oppressive, less good, and it's another thing to make the character feel kind of a little worse to play. But that's the tier list. So just a quick recap. We have Bloodhound S tier, Jibby S tier, Wraith S tier, and Octane. At A tier, we have Valkyrie, Caustic, Horizon, Path, and Seer. At B tier, we have Lifeline, Bang, Loba. At C tier, I'm gonna move Fuse there. We have Rev, Fuse, Crypto, and Watson. And then at D tier, we have Mirage and Rampart. And that's it, guys. If you like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can see some more content. Peace.